Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the very first episode of The Outer Rim, a brand new Star Wars podcast coming at you right here from a little place in Georgia. A little place in Georgia.
No, a little place in the Outer Rim.
Ah, that's right. We are in the Outer Rim.
Floating on an asteroid.
Drifting through space. Just making our way through.
If you find your rocket running out of fuel, you're out here stranded and alone.
What did I say it was? It's the radio show on the rock.
Radio show on the rock.
Radio show on the rock. That's
we
how
have
it
a bar
is.
here. We don't get many visitors.
It's a cantina.
I mean, a cantina.
Everything here's a cantina.
Bar.
Cantina bar, exactly.
Yeah.
Guys,
Mexican food.
Yes, Mexican food at our cantina bar. Guys, we got a lot of stuff planned for you today. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. It's the first episode, so we're getting into it. We're just going to tell you about ourselves real quick. My name's Alex. This is Jeremiah sitting to my left. He's actually on the right. I made a joke about it already. Pre-show. But yeah. Jam, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, what's up, guys? My name's Jeremiah, but you can call me Jam. I like to play music and video games. A lot of video games. A lot of Star Wars video games. But I actually thought about it. I can say my favorite game is Shadow of the Colossus. My most played game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And my favorite Star Wars game is Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2 is definitely like top tier up there. It's probably the best Star Wars game in my eyes. I think a lot of people know that by now. But I think that's just because they dropped the ball on Squadrons. Just saying.
Some people like that game.
Yeah, we gotta put the hot takes out there first, though.
It sucks.
Yeah, we didn't like Squadrons. We're just gonna let you know that right now. If you came here to listen to some Squadron stuff, you're gonna need to listen to this a year later when we're bored and we're actually playing Squadrons. So what else do we have going on, Jim? How much Star Wars knowledge do you have?
I've listened to a few Star Wars audiobooks that have given me more context on Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan's connection, as well as Dooku's past and some of his relationships throughout leaving the Jedi Order. I've watched all the movies a lot of times. I haven't watched the sequels as many times, but I do have a lot of theories about the sequels and where they're going to go with the Mandalorian and things like that. I've seen the Mandalorian. I haven't seen all the Clone Wars, but I kind of have a general idea of like some of the major plot points there. I mean, you kind of get the gist through.
Yeah. Okay. So you're probably more. Yeah, you're gonna have like some of the more knowledge side of this than me when it comes to some of the more Legends stuff, because I haven't read any of the books, haven't listened to any audiobooks, but I probably will since we're starting a Star Wars podcast. But I definitely listen to like Star Wars Theory a lot on, listen to Star Wars Theory a lot. So I have listened to some of the Vader comics. I know a little bit of those, which are really good.
Yeah, that's good context.
Yeah, and obviously, seen all the movies, Mandalorian. I haven't seen Clone Wars. We haven't been able to watch Bad Batch yet.
Yeah, that's true. We're not caught up on Bad Batch. So that might be something that we do as a part of the podcast in the future.
Well, I was actually going to propose to you that we start watching an episode of Clone Wars every week, so that way we get caught up.
Yeah, that'd be really cool for this podcast to kind of be the home of where we experience the Clone Wars.
Exactly, and then we can talk about each episode that we watch each week.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, good idea. Marking it down.
Let us know what you guys think about that.
We'll get somebody to mark that down for us.
Yeah. You guys mark it down.
No. We get somebody from our team to mark it down.
Yeah. I mean, Craig's in the bag.
Yeah, Craig's in the bag. So, what do you want for the future of Star Wars, Jim? While we're sitting here still giving our introductions about ourselves and Star Wars and all of that
Okay, so for the
shebang.
future of Star Wars, I'm thinking I want a lot more Star Wars games, a la like mid 2000, like the first decade, so like around 2005, 2006, 2004. Those years were so good for Star Wars games. We had LucasArts, and we had just so many different kinds of games coming out. That was when like the first few Battlefront games came out. There were a lot of good Lego Star Wars games. There were a lot of crazy movie tie-in games. I mean, the fact that EA has held the license of Star Wars games for so long means that it's kind of just up to them what they're going to be doing. But when now that Disney has kind of opened that back up, we're going to see a lot more Star Wars kind of spin-off ideas happening in the gaming industry. That's really exciting. Of course, I really want Battlefront 3 to come, but of course, we can get into that at a future point in time. We can talk a lot about that.
Yes.
In terms of the movies and films and the TV shows and whatnot, I'm just hoping that we get, you know, not so much like content that rejects the sequel trilogy. I'm not like that hardcore about it. I think that they can fit in. I just want a more clear direction going forward. I like the Luke storyline, the Grogu storyline. I like the Mando storyline. I like where we're headed after the sequels, and so I really just want to see that get fleshed out more. And there are a lot of projects announced with Disney Plus that are going to be coming out in the next few years. That's super exciting as a Star Wars fan to see, what kind of universe they're going to build around the Star Wars content that we are craving.
Yeah. How do you feel about them? I'm pretty sure it's like public knowledge now that they're going towards like the High Republic age for the next stuff, right?
I don't exactly know what the next trilogy of movies is going to be based on, but I know that there was a High Republic novel series announced, and the first of those books has already come out. I haven't had the opportunity to read or listen to that book, but that is on my radar. That's something that I would be very interested in listening to. I could probably burn it out in a week or two. So if I start that, I'll definitely be in like have that get involved in our conversations.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know exactly what Disney's plan is with bringing the High Republic to the forefront with this book series. It could lead into other things down the line for movies and film and TV, but I'm not exactly sure yet. Maybe they're just kind of testing the waters with it and seeing what happens with that specific era. But yeah, do you have any kind of interest in that?
I I think it will be really cool to see Star Wars in a different light at that point because I feel like this really is a whole change up from the whole Skywalker saga and everything like that, and that's what I'm excited to see Star Wars break away from, I guess. Because don't get me wrong, I love the characters, but like it's gonna be really exciting to see new characters and get attached to new characters and like see them get this hopefully right. Like I really want. Hopefully they get it right because this is the future of Star Wars right here. Like this is the direction that the franchise is probably going to be taking for the next decade if they go with this sort of trajectory.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because with the sequel trilogy specifically, they did want to keep the Skywalker saga going, and it was a bit of kind of like a mix up between what intentions they needed to stay true to. It's like they have the movie they envision, what they want to make, then they have the responsibility and obligation to deal with these older characters that aren't necessarily a part of their prerogative. You know, dealing with character deaths, dealing with respecting character, like how a character would behave. Bringing how the fans want to see those characters integrated into the conversation and just balancing so many different aspects of it. I feel like it did kind of turn what could have been just a stellar trilogy into a little bit more of kind of a mix up, not a clear direction behind how to use all these different moving parts and aspects. I think it would really benefit the series in the future to kind of go back to the root of what makes a good Star Wars story and then focus on delivering us, great Star Wars experiences with these new characters because just kind of freeing yourself of all limitations and all the kind of like grandfathered in expected content, distance yourself from that and then you can really just start from scratch on something that can represent what Star Wars is now in a more clear light and direction. I think that'll be great.
Yeah, Jam hates the sequels.
I don't hate. They're just we have a complicated relationship.
Jam's got beef with the sequels. All right. All right. So, what have you been up to this past week, Jim? What have you been doing?
So this past week, something cool actually happened. I mentioned that I'm really into Smash Bros. Friend from work was hosting a Smash Bros. Tournament. It was for her and her son. Her son's super into Smash, and he had just graduated. They wanted to host a big tournament at their house. We got 8 or 9 participants to play. It was a lot of fun. There was food and like finger food, and even they had like meatballs. There was all kinds of good stuff.
I could go for a meatball.
Yeah, the meatballs were great, and they were super hospitable there. Great.
The meatballs were?
No, the people. The meatballs were hospitable to my taste buds.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, the tournament went really cool. It went really well, and I won. It's just kind of casual flex. Throw that in.
Who are you using? Go ahead and let
So
them know.
if you guys are curious, my main character that I play in Smash is Ness. He's from the Earthbound franchise, or the Mother series, if you're familiar with its Japanese iteration. But I actually played Donkey Kong most of the tournament, and I even went random a few times. It was more of a casual tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a strong flex.
Yeah.
Ouch.
I won grand finals by hitting random. I got Crom. Not very experienced with him, but all you gotta do is swing the sword.
Jeez, wow. Okay. Wow, alrighty.
What have you been up to, man?
I just went on vacation, got back from Savannah. Well, technically Tybee Island. Spent like 2 days down there. I don't even want to call it like 2 days because first day we drove down there and we got in. It was like I was under the impression that the drive to Tybee Island was going to be 3 hours. Get in the car, find out it's 4 hours. But I'm okay with it. We're like riding. I listened to a podcast on the way down there with my fiance, and then we get there, and it was like crazy hectic because there's like zero parking in Tybee Island, like
That's true.
whatsoever. So, like our hotel had like no parking outside of it. We basically had to drive around the block a couple of times waiting on somebody to pull out. And luckily somebody pulled out. We were able to get in, check into our hotel, and then I think the first thing that we did was go to Walmart because we didn't have flip-flops.
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't have sunscreen. I didn't have a bathing suit. We didn't have beach towels. And we also bought a frisbee because we thought we were going to use it. We never used the frisbee.
It was really windy, right?
It was so windy. You
Yeah.
can't take a frisbee to a beach. You're going to lose it. I kind of want to take a frisbee to a beach, though, just to whip it out into the ocean and see how far it will go.
Yeah, the wind just flips it over.
Yes.
Immediately gets taken away by the current.
But the cool thing is that now I have a frisbee, and as you
Yeah.
learned yesterday at Logan's house when we were having the little pool day there, I got pretty good at throwing a frisbee.
Yeah.
I don't know how I was so good at throwing a frisbee, but I was able to rapid fire 2 frisbees to a near pinpoint target sometimes.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. People were I was throwing it to get people to jump into the pool, catch two frisbees at the same time. It was gonna be cool. I think we only got it happen twice,
Yeah.
maybe three times. I know that you did it once.
Yeah, I did it once, and our friend Logan, who was hosting the pool party, he did it once as well, catching two of them. But it just kind of goes to show Alex was doing a great job of
Yeah,
throwing them.
yeah.
Had a nice amount of hang time on them, you know.
It was really cool. And if you can do that while you're jumping into a pool, like it was really awesome. Um, well, shoot, Jim. Let's go ahead and slide into what we're gonna be talking about. Well, not totally what we're gonna be talking about. We gotta talk about some stuff first about what this section of the show is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm gonna rapid fire four questions that I came up with to Jam, and we're gonna see how he reacts, and then we're gonna go back over those questions and see what he's got going there. And this is kind of like the latest in nerd news, not nerd news, like gaming news. I don't know, not even gaming news, pop culture, whatever you want to call it. This is that section. So, Jam, Lego Star Wars not being at E3, was it the biggest snub of E3, or what? How do you feel about that?
Oh, dude. Oh, dude. So, yeah, it's kind of rough. I think this year E3 was just. It was almost as if everyone who was a part of E3 got the invite like a week before it happened, and then they just kind of decided to throw together whatever they have currently ready to show. I feel like Nintendo and Microsoft did a great job. It seems like they're the only two companies that prepared or even thought about what consumers may have questions about right now, because Lego Star Wars has been one of the most delayed games as of recent memory.
Definitely.
I mean, of course, Cyberpunk 2077 takes the cake on that. But coming away from
Halo.
Cyberpunk, yeah, that's another infamous delay. But it really is just a kind of like a more one and done big announcement. Hey, this is actually coming out next year. We're gonna give it a full, 12 months to cook, and we're gonna take all your feedback into consideration. It's like, where's our Star Wars acknowledgement on where's our acknowledgement that Star Wars the Lego new, like, what is it, the Skywalker Saga. It's supposed to be all 9 movies. It's extremely exciting for fans, for anyone who's ever played and loved a Lego Star Wars game, or is just interested in the Star Wars franchise, or if you have been playing Battlefront or Squadrons or any. I feel like so many people have this game on their mind, and it's like the most quiet delays you have to kind of search and see if the game's even still like being made. It's kind of just hey, it's coming out at the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year is come and gone, and it's like,
Yeah.
they haven't even said anything. It feels like.
I feel like the worst part is that we even had what felt like dates at one point too.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like most like brick and mortar stores that are going to be carrying this game, your GameStops, your EB Games, even Target, Walmart, whatever else, this game, they need to know when it's coming, and they need to know when to put it in the system and when to put it on the shelves. And it's a lot of those companies had the date that it was going to be coming either in April or May. I think it was by the end of May it should have been on the shelves, and that's like their estimate date. But it seems as though they don't even know when the game's supposed to really get here, because you can still find signs at GameStops that say, like, by May 31st, 2021, the game's going to be here.
Yeah, you do see those everywhere. That's always sad to see those too.
Yeah, because we're almost 2 months from that point, and or we're about to be in the second month that we haven't had any kind of acknowledgement over this game, and it's just, for E3 to come and go, and then there's still no talk about it. It's really annoying to see the EA Star Wars Twitter account just kind of be like, "Hey guys, the new episode of Bad Batch just came out." It's like, okay, but like, what can you tell me that my streaming service isn't already going to tell me? Like,
Yeah.
I can go find that out on Disney Plus. where is Lego Star Wars?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. When I was doing a lot of like research for the show, I was like getting really discouraged when I wasn't finding like much news about Lego Star Wars. It doesn't seem like there's really any information like new coming out about it. It's really weird how they kind of had like this drop off in information as soon as they got the delay on it. Which did they say why it was getting delayed? I
I
don't
never heard
remember.
anything about it.
Yeah, I don't remember ever hearing a reason for it, which is kind of weird considering like they kept promoting spring 2021 and now it's supposed to be 2021. We don't really have a even a season to go off of
Yeah.
at this point. So I don't know. I guess we'll have to have a running gag where this is episodes episodes until Lego Star Wars comes out, you know?
Or until they at least say something about it.
Yes,
How
yes.
many episodes are going to go by before we even hear anything about this game?
That's yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I would just I'll go ahead and say I'm totally behind delaying a game to finish it and to complete it and to really polish that game and finish putting the kind of passion it deserves into a finished product that you can release on the date that you set, and then you don't need to have a few patches before the game will even function as it's supposed to. I'm totally behind developers and publishers holding back game until it's ready, but I think that communication is the most important part of this process. With people are just going to kind of forget about this game. Like if that's the environment you want to create, then EA is doing a great job right now of making people try like forget that this game even is supposed to come out. Like how many casual fans heard about this game and were pretty excited. Oh, that I've played those as a kid. I would totally get back into a Lego Star Wars experience that's on these next gen consoles and that's gonna essentially have all of the content I'm familiar with all in one place, redefined for this new generation of Star Wars Lego games. And it's pretty exciting for people. But when you put a date on it and then nothing happens, it's almost like you're creating a disconnect for your audience.
Yeah, it's almost like going into a restaurant and being told, the wait's 15 minutes and then you're sitting outside for 30 minutes. Like, you're obviously going to get pissed about
Yeah,
that,
you're sitting outside for 30 minutes and they lock the door.
Yeah.
You can see through the
You
blinds.
can't figure out how long it's taking at all.
You're just kind of hungry. Maybe I'll go get food somewhere else.
But they're not like it's the only restaurant that has like that one type of thing
And
that
that's
you want.
yes, and that's exactly why I'm excited for the Star Wars license to spread out a little bit more, because there will be other things to focus on. I think
Yeah, I can finally go eat at Burger King.
Star Wars Hunters, like the Bounty Hunter game,
Ooh.
that's going to be coming out. I think that's still coming out this year. I'm pretty sure that's on schedule. So that's a Star Wars game coming out of this
It's
new.
gonna be free to play too, right?
I think so.
Pretty sure.
And I'm pretty sure it'll be on Switch, maybe some other platforms.
I think it is definitely gonna be on Switch.
So, a lot of people are going to have access to some fun Star Wars content to play in the meantime while we wait for Lego Star Wars. But we'll definitely let you guys know if we hear anything more about that game. I'm still super excited for it. I will buy it day one, whenever day one is. But until then, I'm trying to kind of not think about it as much and just let them do what they need to do to get it put out.
Yeah, I feel about the same way. I think that well, honestly, no, I think we got a bunch of stoners up in there at EA right now, and they are just coming up with so many ideas for this game, and it's going to be the most beautiful Lego Star Wars game ever, and we're going to have
It really will.
tie-ins for so many different aspects of the old games and all this other random crap. I think it's going to be the biggest collection of like everything that happened in the Star Wars saga or the Skywalker saga in one game. I think it'll be the perfect like story mode game for it too. Because a lot of story modes in some Star Wars games have I felt like flopped, but looking at you, Battlefront 2. but
Yikes.
but you played Jedi Fallen Order, so you know that Jedi Fallen Order is probably really good. I
Yeah.
haven't played Jedi Fallen
I
Order
think there's
yet.
going to be a nice emphasis on story based Star Wars games. in the future, and we already have a sequel to Jedi Fallen Order coming up. Jedi Fallen Order was great. Um, and there's going to be like a Ubisoft open world Star Wars game that will probably have a great deal of story content.
Yeah, I think we've all heard about it. The mythical game that we don't know what it is yet, but it's gonna come out and it's gonna knock our fucking socks off.
Yeah,
Well, we're gonna play it whenever it comes out.
yeah,
That's
we
for
definitely
sure.
will.
All right, so next question because we're not rapid firing through these. I guess we're just
That was a
gonna
pretty big
yeah
discussion.
we're just gonna discuss them as we're doing it. Harrison Ford injured on the set of Indiana Jones 5.
What? No, that poor man.
He's at 78 years old. How much longer do you think Harrison Ford can go, Jam?
I think getting injured on the set is definitely something that can happen to anybody.
Now, I will tell you that Harrison Ford has a track record of getting injured on movie sets. He was actually injured on the set of Force Awakens by a hydraulic door on the Millennium Falcon.
Ooh,
Yeah.
burned by his own ship.
Yes. Yes. But
My leg! Please open the door!
I forget what he hurt then, but this time it's a shoulder injury on the set of Indy 5. How do you think he got it?
Um, I'm guessing maybe what that sounded like was a little bit of prop malfunction. So I think the most likely thing at this point is that he's not doing any kind of crazy risky stunts, but you probably can get injured from different things on the movie set itself. So, oh, you already have it pulled up.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I've got
let's
an
take a look at
article
this.
pulled up. We're gonna see if we can. Oh, there's a fly flying in my face. This is the end.
Yeah, so it could have been something from the set.
Yes,
He is
here's what
getting
it
old.
is.
Oh,
So,
a fighting sequence. Okay.
yes, Ford hurt his shoulder rehearsing a fighting sequence for Indiana Jones 5, everyone. So, what does this mean for Harrison Ford at 78? Is he gonna just fight forever? Like, how long can this guy do this?
I'm thinking I'm thinking this might be his last kind of action oriented film. I think he could definitely still do some character based pieces, but you know, he has kind of been this action adventure kind of guy for a long time, you know, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, and then, you know, various other roles. He just brings a lot of energy and a lot of dynamic charisma and interaction with these scenes. I feel like maybe going forward, he's probably going to start toning things down. I mean, Indy 5 could be a pretty big end note to this action adventure career that he's had.
I will tell you that I don't want to 100% it, but I think it has been confirmed that Shia LaBeouf isn't going to be in Indy 5. So we don't have like the passing down of the gauntlet like we want, but I really hope that Shia LaBeouf plays Indiana Jones, man. I really like him for it.
Yeah, that's something that I really liked from Indy 4 was, you know, Mutt kind of being he picks up the hat at the end,
Yeah.
puts it on his head, and then he puts it on, and Indy comes and grabs it, you know, and he's like, "Nah, I'm still Indiana Jones."
Yeah.
You know, and Indy 5 is going to prove that, you know, he's still kicking, but like once you do decide to stop, is Shia LaBeouf even around for this anymore, or is he just kind of moved on, not even in the talks, or is it do they have their eye on something else? Are they going to kind of rebrand a young Indy, not really pass the torch, but maybe just kind of reset his timeline? I'm not really sure what they aim to do with the franchise going forward, but there is an indie game coming out,
Oh, yeah.
so I mean he's still
But
like
we actually have a discussion about that later on, so don't
um,
get.
I'm just thinking like the Indiana Jones franchise as a whole, it's still, you know, they have plans for it. You know, it's just kind of what is this movie going to show? Is this movie going to show anything about their hand for the future?
Yeah. I'm interested to see the time period of which this movie is going to take place because I think the last one was sort of set like 40s, 50s, or maybe it was 50s, 60s. Not
Yeah,
really sure.
I think 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
And so if this one's kind of like 70s, 80s, that's going to be interesting. You know, like who's he really going to be up against? I don't even know at this point. So
Yeah.
it's going to be because I it's probably gonna be Russians again. It's just the way I think it's
Do
gonna be.
you think aliens?
Do I think aliens are coming back? Probably not. I think they already did the alien thing. I think that it would be cool if they did the alien thing again, but I just doubt. I doubt
Because
them doing
whenever
it
I think
again.
like 60s, 70s, 80s intrigue,
You think about aliens, but
yeah,
also you think about that with 50s, with
yeah,
Roswell and all that.
all of
All
it, man.
that.
It's just like those decades. They all invoke like destroy all humans.
Yeah, yeah, I feel
Aliens
that.
everywhere.
I
Little green
definitely feel
men.
that. All right, so we got the announcement of a new movie in a franchise that probably should be dead by now, but Transformers 7 has been
Oh,
announced and the
jeez.
title Rise of the Beast. Your reactions? Good reactions.
This is my reaction. There's seven of them.
That's what I said. I actually, when when I saw this, I was like, "There's six other ones," and so I pulled it up.
I remember like three.
I Dark of the Moon.
Yeah, Dark
Yeah,
of the Moon.
that was the good one. So I pulled up the wiki for Transformers, and I found that Bumblebee is actually listed as the sixth movie in the franchise, which I don't think should be right. But if they want to do it, they do it. But I also learned that Bumblebee is actually a prequel movie to like the original Transformers movie.
You can't. You, how does that work? Making it Transformers 6, but also it's a prequel.
Yes,
I don't think they understand how
and
that's supposed to work.
uh, according to Wikipedia here, Transformers 7 is going to be taking place in between the events of Bumblebee and the original Transformers.
They got too much money
Yeah.
and no ideas.
They I think you're definitely right there. When I was looking at this time, like I couldn't pull up like the actual timeline, but I'm definitely interested to seeing a Transformers timeline because I bet that shit's really fucking weird. Oh man, Linkin Park was great in Revenge of the Fallen though. That was a really really good movie. I didn't ever see The Last Night or Age of Extinction or granted Bumblebee,
I
but
think I saw mind-numbing action sequences from one of those movies where entire like skyscrapers were just being destroyed,
oh yeah.
and it's just kind of like I struggled to find any context. Uh, I will say that I kind of jumped in the middle of the movie, and I didn't. It's one of those movies though, you know. It's one of those franchises. I think in the first few movies they tried to keep it grounded. They tried to, you know, have some semblance of character based story, kind of hold these bigger, more action focused sequences together. But anytime I've kind of had one of these movies going in the background, or if I've walked in on a friend watching it just it's always so dull. And
Yeah.
it's a really strange word to use because of how many explosions and how many people are yelling, and you know, it should be more chaotic or at least like interesting in some aspect, but it's this mind-numbing like CGI destruction with no kind of context or weight behind it, and it just feels like it's almost like a Call of Duty iteration, you know, at this point.
Yeah.
You start to kind of like you get a Call of Duty game that has a unique thing about it that really brings people to it, and then you get three more that are just slightly different, slightly newer versions of the same thing, and people want to experience new things. You know, that's people want to experience the same things in new contexts, but like with basically no context between these characters, these events, these action sequences. It's just kind of like how how are the Transformers going to try to kill each other this time, and like where are they going to do it at,
Yeah.
and like are are people gonna get blown up possibly? Or what's the main character? Who's the main character? Oh, I don't know, just that guy, I guess. He's around the Transformers. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't think that they are necessarily. So I know that Shia LaBeouf left after Dark of the Moon, right? He wasn't in it after that. Speaking of Shia LaBeouf again, we're a Shia LaBeouf pod. Um, so Shia LaBeouf left after Dark of the Moon, and I think Mark Wahlberg came in after Age of Extinction. I like Mark Wahlberg a lot. I
Me
think that
too.
he's great, but I think that at this point in the franchise, they just didn't have any like good gripping story elements to keep it going, and they had to get a big name star. So that didn't really work out. I don't even think Mark Wahlberg was in the other one. I don't know. I'd have to look at it, but I will say that I know that Age of Extinction has it's either Age of Extinction or The Last Night has some of the most like blatant uses of brand, like how people like insert their brand into
Brand
movies.
placements and
Brand, yes, all that stuff. Like I know there's this like one really iconic scene where like they like crash into a Bud Light truck, and then it like pans over the Bud Light all like laying on the ground, and they're all like the logo up, and you can kind of like see everything, and there's like fire, but you can see all of it. And then Mark Wahlberg steps out of the car and picks up one of the beers, cracks it open, and chugs a little bit of it, and then throws it on the ground. And you're just like, why?
I'm glad this was a Bud Light instead of any other beer.
Yeah, you're like, whoa.
My favorite kind.
It just totally takes you out of the movie, and you're like, whoa. I watched a video about it the other day, and I was like, wow, this guy, like, that's the type of thing that I feel like even I would pick up on. You don't have to be a movie critic to pick up on something like that and be like, oh my god, how many times am I gonna fucking see that logo in here? You know? And like I watched this whole video, and it was talking about Transformers, and I'll have to find the video again, but it was talking about that movie specifically, but also the original franchise for bringing up eBay like all
Yeah.
the fucking time. Like the first Transformers movie probably mentions eBay more than any movie you've ever heard. Like just
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah, I know they had a lot of car deals at first because, they
Yep.
wanted the Transformers to represent certain cars from certain brands. And, I know that was a big thing at first. You have Chevy working with them, GMC.
It was basically a big car commercial back
Yeah.
in the day.
And, I was cool with that because it's almost like the same way that a racing game does it. It's like you want those cars to be there.
Exactly. It made it like kind of more badass and like more
Yeah.
real life. I
Yeah.
could buy a yellow Corvette and like slap the what are they called? Not Transformers, but like they're the two races.
The Autobots and the
I
Decepticons.
can slap the Autobots logo on my fucking yellow Corvette, and
Yeah.
it's Bumblebee. I'll feel
Yeah.
good about it.
Yeah. That was cool. It was cool at first because it's almost like Iron Man. They want to bring these kind of more comic booky type, action, crazy phenomenon type things, superpowers, aliens, that sort of stuff. They want to bring it over to a more grounded context. Here's America, and these are just civilians, and this stuff could happen in your town. There could be a fucking car in your town that's really an alien, and this is what it would look like. Kids going to the theater, families going to the theater. I feel like everybody gets a little bit of excitement out of that. You get to see these really cool, fantastical things for the kids, and then you get to see it in a modern context, and it affects normal people. So it's a lot of excitement at first, but I think the Transformers movie series. If I ask my little brothers if they want to go see Transformers 7 in theaters, they're probably gonna look at me the same way I just looked at you. They're gonna say, "There's 7 of those." Like I I think I watched one of them when I was fucking 4.
I feel you. I was never like big. So now that I think about it, I had seen both of the Transformers movies when Dark of the Moon came out. So like I wasn't like wanting to go see Dark of the Moon, but like my aunt took me to go see it, and I was just like, "Wow, this was a great movie." And after that, I remember seeing the trailers for Age of Extinction, like later on, uh, and I was just not excited for it then. So I think that
Yeah.
Transformers kind of had its time. After like they were a pre 2012 franchise. I think 2012 was the cutoff for Transformers. They should have crammed as many movies as they could in then, because right now it's just not working
Yeah,
for me.
because you either have to realize that you are successful because of what you did at this point in time, and it's really of the time.
Yeah.
You have to either realize that, put a pin in it, and say, this was great while it lasted. This is what this was.
Got a dog.
This is contained here, and this is what this is. Or you need to evolve and change to fit the new landscape of where you're going to be putting these movies out. I mean, I'm looking now. We had 2007, 2009, 2011, pretty tight cluster for these Transformer movies,
hmm
and they were firing them off one after the other. It was all related. Some of them made a little bit less sense. Megan Fox disappeared, and I think she came back. I don't really know, somewhere in there. But then we have 3 years later, Age of Extinction, and nobody's even thinking about no, nobody's even thinking about Transformers at this point.
We're definitely not thinking about Star Wars right now.
Nobody's thinking about Transformers at this point. Shia LaBeouf's off the movie posters. It's Mark Wahlberg now. People are just kind of confused.
Yeah.
3 years after that, they do it again, and then they throw out a Bumblebee movie that nobody really has any idea. Oh, is it going to be? Oh, it's a prequel. Is Shia LaBeouf going to be in it? What's he doing?
Like, to be honest with you, this came out in 2018, and I feel like I kind of remember some movies that came out in 2018, but I don't remember this one.
Me either. And it's just kind of I wouldn't say it's like a tragedy because I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
But
It could have been done so well.
yeah. I think
Like,
the first three were great. If they evolved it into something different, kind of, I don't know, just did something interesting with the storyline, then they could have had another trilogy of pretty interesting films that stayed around instead of just getting like smashed out of existence by the Marvel movies, and everybody's attention is on other things
yeah.
that are doing the action adventure CGI superhero shit way better.
Part of the problem is too is that like a lot of people started ripping on Transformers movies early on for all the like practical effects, like explosions and shit like that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's Michael Bay.
this movie's not coming out till 2022, so there's a lot of time in between now and then. If anything comes out, I'll make sure to update you about it, Jim, because you seem like you're very interested in the Transformers franchise.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
All
I
right.
didn't mean to give that impression.
All right. So for the final question I got for you here before we start our baseball draft, between the announcements of Harry Potter and the Indiana Jones games that we already have these games announced. They're definitely coming. Which one of these are you more excited for?
That's a really good question. I don't exactly know what the Indiana Jones game is going to be like.
I don't know what the Harry Potter game's really going to be like yet either.
I'm imagining the Harry Potter game is probably going to have. I'm so if anybody in our audience has played Fire Emblem or any kind of game where you maybe like Persona, where you have one aspect of the game where you're learning, studying, preparing for combat, and you're kind of doing the more character based things, character conversations, story elements, finding out different events and what's going on, and being a part of those things. And then you have a reason to leave that comfortability. You have a reason to leave those like safe places where you're learning and studying and growing, and then you go out and you do a combat, you do an adventure. Even like Stardew Valley, you have your little farming sim, you're building a little farm, then you venture off to go fight enemies and collect resources and things like that. You can look at the Harry Potter movie franchise, or if you've read the books, you know that the students will do a great deal of learning. They'll be with their teachers, they'll be inside Hogwarts, some crazy shit happens at Hogwarts, and those kind of events can take away safety. But for the most part, you're learning and studying there. That would be in this game. That would be the aspect of you choosing what kind of path you want to take as a wizard. You know, you get to make your own character. You're probably going to pick your own kind of specialties and what kind of things you want your student to learn. And so then you're going to be a part of Hogwarts. You're going to learn those things. There's going to be fun ways to interact with these classes, maybe some mini games on, potion making, certain things like that. And obviously you're gaining experience, you're leveling up, and you're talking to your teachers, you're finding out different plot events that are going on. You have reasons to leave, go to the Forbidden Forest, or go to, an island somewhere, or, traveling around to different locations. I think is going to be a really fun thing to do in this open world game, because the fact that you can probably explore the intricate interior of Hogwarts, that sounds really fun. Learning and designing your own playstyle around different spells and magical effects you can tinker with and learn about, and then just kind of having this open world aspect where you get to explore and apply those things. It sounds like a really fun way to live this fantasy of being a wizard at Hogwarts. That's kind of what I'm imagining. That sounds like a ton of fun. I don't know exactly how they're going to iron out all those different aspects. It could be very cut and dry how they implement certain things, but I'm really anticipating a lot of depth here, a lot of player initiative and player choice on how to experience this open world Harry Potter game. How do you want to play? Do you want to play more aggressive and just learn destructive things and kind of just go straight into combat, or do you want to have a more subtle approach? Maybe you can have stealth as an option. I don't really know, but
You kind of see it like the Star Wars game that is kind of like floating out there.
yeah, and I mean, a lot of open world games adopt a structure like this where there isn't, but usually there isn't a much bigger focus on having a place where you're learning and studying specifically. That's why I mentioned Fire Emblem, because in that game there are two distinct phases. One is where you are preparing and you get to talk to your students, you get to tell them how to study, you get to help them get better using certain weapons. And this is a medieval setting, so you have some fantastical elements like magic, and then you have swords and lances and things like that.
Mhm.
You can choose kind of what your units, your students are studying, and how that is going to improve their abilities in combat, and then you go and you use that in a combat scenario. So it really is kind of a 1-2 punch of alternating back and forth between these two different aspects that play back and forth into each other. So that's kind of more what I'm expecting from this Harry Potter game. But the Indiana Jones game, I feel like it might just be more along the lines of
Uncharted.
like
I
Uncharted,
just want.
Tomb Raider, um, other kind of climbing, dungeon delving,
I think if they
3D.
did that, they could really make a whole huge franchise out of it. And
I
that's
think
what
so
would be
too.
so great to, expand the Indiana Jones universe outside of what's in the movies. We could get, things that aren't totally tied to the movies.
Yeah, yeah, and that sounds really fun. Like it could be a completely linear experience. Like
Yeah.
you know, for a little while, open world started to become this kind of context that gamers almost required you to have. It seemed like the only games that were talked about were these big open world games, but
Yeah. And it still
there's
feels that way sometimes, though.
yeah, it still feels that way sometimes. And then you'll have communities being overly critical of certain open world aspects, and if they're not done well, or how they were expected to be done. But there's a lot to say about a great linear story based campaign video game. I mean, in any setting, in any age, in any kind of play style, I think a linear game gives so many opportunities to developers, and it gives them so many chances and ways to implement a gripping story. When you take a movie or a book, it's clear cut A to B. There's no player interaction, and so that gives them the most freedom to tell a story exactly how they want and to convey as much emotion and as much character detail and all of these really gripping things that pull a viewer into the story of something. And I think that's very satisfying for gamers when a developer can still give you player interaction and still give you a gamified version of a really great story that for instance, The Last of Us. That's a game franchise that I wouldn't mind watching on a TV. And I mean, that just goes to show exactly why they're making a TV show about this game franchise. Is
I
it's
saw
just
that.
because and I think they've already started filming. They have like the cast picked out and everything, but it just
Great.
goes to show that these stories are so rich that giving them to the players on top of letting them actually interact with these worlds is extremely enjoyable. So I think Indiana Jones needs to not worry about this open world thing. They need to not even try to mess with that. I mean, open world areas within the story are really cool. That's something that can be done very well and has been done very well. But give us a good linear adventure game. Give us puzzles. Give us crazy locations to climb and explore, and give us people that are trying to kill us or try to steal our treasure. I mean,
Snakes.
snakes. I'm a big fan of the Uncharted series, Tomb Raiders. That's kind of what I'm expecting. And if either of these games nail what I think they're going for, I'm getting both of them day one. But honestly, I've been missing Uncharted so much since I've played Uncharted 4, the last in the series.
Mhm.
I played 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now there's just a hole in my life. I need some vine swinging, rock wall climbing, treasure hunting adventure in my life. So I'm super stoked for Indiana Jones, and
I feel that.
I think that I'm that's the game that I'm really waiting to see details on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really good one. Once we get those details, we're gonna be talking about them. All right. So, shoot, we've talked for a while right now. You want to bang on a Star Wars draft?
Yeah, that was a pretty long segment, but
That was a lot longer than yeah, we had no control. But
oh, we can probably put timestamps down in the YouTube video for people if they want to jump straight to the draft.
you're probably right. You're probably right. Or I can just clip the draft out of it too and upload a, second upload of it. But all right, you guys, me and Jam are gonna be drafting Star Wars characters to a baseball team.
Yep.
Here's some things that you should probably know if you don't know anything about baseball. This is an AL draft, which means that we're using a designated hitter who's gonna hit for our pitcher. And we're also going to recap both of our teams at the end. So we have them written down. I have mine written down. Jam's going to be doing his as we go along. And we are going to flip a coin currently to see who is going to be getting the first pick. Um, Also, we can't pick each other's. We can't pick the same person twice because obviously one person can't play for the same
One pick
team.
per character.
Yes. Yes. Um and yeah, shout out to John Boy Media because I got the idea to do this draft from them because they said they weren't going to do a Star Wars draft. So here we go.
Yep. We will do it ourselves.
We will capitalize on our Star Wars fandom and get it going. Okay, you flipping a coin?
All right. So, are you calling Jedi or Sith, or heads or tails,
I would.
or blue or red, or
Decepticons are Autobots.
Decepticons or Autobots?
I will take blue.
Beautiful. Okay, flipping. I'm assuming blue means heads.
Did blue mean heads to you?
If it's blue or red, heads or tails, I'd probably say blue head, red tail.
Really? I think blue is tails.
Are you just saying that because you
No,
saw
I
it?
no, I'm being
You saw the coin.
Is it tails?
It's tails, you bastard.
All
All right, you choose. You choose.
right,
I
all
feel like
right.
you worked for it.
Well, I will take the first pick because just like that.
Daisy. I already know it's Daisy.
We'll do a Mario baseball draft later on. No, so my first pick of the draft, and I might even make a graphic of this later because I know that they do
Oh
graphics
yeah.
of it too. That'd be kind of cool to make. My first pick of the draft is going to be Boba Fett in center field.
Wow, you went right for it.
Yes,
Jetpack in center field.
jetpack in center field. I feel like it's so good. It's just so good at defensive.
And you
Like
know
he's gonna
what?
catch everything.
I think
He'll be flying
I
all over center field.
I think I agree. I think I'm gonna put Mando center field.
Mando center
Din
field.
Djarin
Okay, okay. Well, he does have a jetpack now, so that does work.
and a Beskar spear.
Learning to use that jetpack though.
And great with his
Okay,
jetpack. He killed a goblin with his jetpack.
okay. Well then, my second pick of the draft, I will be taking Darth Vader as my DH. Darth Vader is going to be my designated hitter. I just feel like Darth
Because he
Vader
can't run.
he can't run, and he's a monster at hitting. I just feel like we all
Yep.
saw that scene in
He's gonna
Rogue
slaughter the
One.
ball, whether it's a man, woman, or child.
Exactly.
He's gonna knock it out of the
He
park.
doesn't care who you have pitching, and he is just going to slice straight through it. And like we all saw the scene in Rogue One, like Vader's fucking furious. He's crazy. I think he's a great hitter. I just picture him just smacking it.
Well, you know who I picture pitching for my team?
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Han Solo.
Oh boy. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Han Solo was my first pick for pitching. So this actually changes up kind of like my whole infield because I want my infield to be able to work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um. So with my first pick, I am going to be or not my first pick. I'm gonna go ahead and pick. No. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick my pitcher. My pitcher is going to be Galen Urso. And the reason for that is because Galen Urso,
Pitch them plans.
yes, he pitched them Death Star plans.
He'll pitch you a whole Death Star blueprint.
So the man's a fucking genius, right? And I just imagine that because of him having just this knowledge of technology and stuff like that, he probably has just a really good knowledge of like quantum mechanics in general and can probably throw a baseball really fucking crazy.
Yeah. He'd be like, am I throwing it or am I not throwing it?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's pretty interesting. I didn't expect that. Especially after you said that I took your first pick. Is that your second pick that you already prepared?
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
I came prepared. So,
Okay. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
all right. So your pick.
My pick, I'm gonna say catcher, Chewbacca.
Okay. Okay.
Chewie's always there to back up Han. And I think with Chewie catching, he doesn't need to run around and tire himself out. He just needs to sit there and he just needs to support Han. And I think together they can tackle pretty much anything.
Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. Um, for my pick, I'm not doing catcher because I kind of want to get this guy before you do.
No.
I'm gonna be taking Lando at third base.
Oh, okay. I don't care about that traitor.
Really, I thought you were gonna get him because you thought he would work well with Han and Chewie, and you know maybe if you put him at shortstop, he would work well if you know Chewie was throwing to second. But no, I'm putting Han. I mean not Han, but Lando at third base. Because I don't know. I just think that like Lando would make a good third baseman. He just seems like the type. I don't know. He's not like slow. He kind of can roll quick. He's light on his feet, and I just imagine Lando can probably hit. He can probably mash. Probably get you a good double every time he's up.
Yeah, you could hope.
I can hope he's gonna do something shifty.
Yeah, he throws a cloud down. You don't even see where the ball went.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I think I'm gonna jump straight to my shortstop, and I think I'm gonna throw Luke Skywalker onto the shortstop position.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never even picked Luke Skywalker on my team.
That's interesting.
I know, right? Considering I'm a Luke main in BF2, it's kind oh, we got another dog bark. We got a big one. Yeah, there he goes. All right, you guys. So back to it. We'll introduce you to the dog someday. Because there's a dog out here on the rock, I guess. We've got who do I have next? Who do I want next? I guess I'm gonna put. You did your shortstop just now. I'm gonna do my shortstop, but I kind of want my shortstop to work well um with my third baseman, Lando. So I'm taking L3.
I like that.
I think that L3 is pretty dope in the Solo movie. I don't know if a lot of people I know a lot of people did not like the Solo movie, but I'd really L3 made the movie. L3 was a really big part of the movie. I liked it. So, L3.
Okay, so I really like that pick, and you kind of got me thinking about my third baseman. And so I feel like for my third baseman, actually, I might wait on him for a second. I think I need to jump over to. I think I'm gonna jump over to first or second.
I was going to be picking my first base next.
I think on second base, I'm going to have. I'm gonna have Leia on second.
Who do you have at shortstop?
Luke Skywalker.
Okay, yeah, that works. Okay, um, I like that. I like that. Leia's pretty quick. She's nimble. Plus, like, you don't really need your second baseman to do a whole lot. Which is why I'm putting my second baseman K2SO.
Ooh, ooh, that's scary. That's a scary
I
droid.
think the droids working together would be kind of cool. I don't
Yeah,
know. I just kind of thought that would be a pretty sick combo.
I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Okay, okay. So over on first base, on first base, yeah, right over there on first. Um, um,
I've got an envision for my first baseman. I don't think you're going to take him, so I'm probably just going to sit on my first baseman.
first baseman. I think I want Padme.
Padme's good, versatile. She's kind of like the most. Padme's really badass.
That's
Actually,
super
Padme's
badass.
like super badass. Like,
She's
dude,
not.
all
Yeah,
three of those movies, Padme's a badass.
yeah. She's not letting a.
Even when she's pregnant in the third movie, bro, she's just like, I'm badass. And then she gets choked by Anakin, which is really sad. But we don't talk about that.
Yeah, Anakin's nowhere near her. We're keeping him out of the infield.
Oh shit. So you are drafting Anakin. Well, on my team,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
at first base, I've already got
Got K2SO on second. Yeah.
I do have K2SO on second. and I've got L3 at shortstop. I've got Lando at third. I've got Galen Urso pitching. So he can fix up these droids, if they have a problem. He's smart
True.
enough to do it. And catching, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Jabba the Hutt out there because we
I
need a
like it.
money man to fund our team, and Jabba the Hutt's gonna fund our team for one. Because Jabba the Hutt's fucking rich, but he's also fucking huge back there in the backstop, and that's gonna work well for us because it's the ball's just gonna bounce off his stomach. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna drop right in front of him, and
Or
it's gonna work
it'll
out.
just like go into his flab. He'll
Exactly.
just catch it with his belly.
Catch it with his belly, just like that. Just gets sucked into him.
I like it. Okay. So I'm feeling like I need to focus on the outfield a little bit now.
Mm-hmm.
Mando is taking center. Who's he gonna have around him? Think Ahsoka Tano for right field.
Oh, I like that pick a lot. I think Ahsoka is a badass, and I think that badass baseball players play right field for some reason nowadays. So, so yeah, like fucking sticker in the outfield. I like it. Um, I was about to move to my outfield, but I think I'm gonna finish up my infield now. Um, I'm gonna go ahead and put the nicest because I imagine my first baseman being a really nice person, right? And that's how like a lot of first basemen in baseball are. You're greeting the guy to the base if he hits the ball. You just you're greeting him there. Hey man,
Mm-mm.
No, that's really how baseball is. I promise you.
Mm-mm.
Like Freddie Freeman is like one of the nicest
I just
first
hope that you're
basemen
not
ever.
picking who I think you're picking.
I'm picking C3PO at first base.
I didn't expect that. That's great. Said, oh my.
Exactly.
Please.
I just imagine everybody getting to first base and he greeting them and just being like the nicest dude ever.
I
So
appreciate that.
yeah.
We're gonna definitely appreciate C3PO welcoming us to first base.
Whoa. This isn't a real thing, but okay. Get it. The next pick
Third
of the
base.
Star Wars draft.
Third base, I'm going.
You haven't picked third base?
Third base, I'm going old Ben Kenobi.
Ooh. Old Ben Kenobi. Okay.
Hey, he might not be quick, but he knows where to stand.
Okay, I like it. Um, damn. Okay, I like it. I'm going to. Obi-Wan was on my board, so I gotta switch some stuff around here. But I think that I am going to stick with left field right now. I'm gonna put General Grievous out there. Another robot dude.
Oh, he can do the crawl.
The crawl. Get to the fucking ball really quick. And then also, since he's a robot, we've got like Galen repairing all these dudes. And then Lando and Jabba funding the team. So like I'm all in on these robot dudes. Boom.
Dude, you have like a scrapyard team.
I need droids, scrapyards. Yes. Our field is in a scrapyard.
I like it.
There's like ship parts everywhere. It's like the back end of the Tatooine map on Battlefront 2.
So, I got most of the family here. Think my designated hitter is gonna be the one and only Ben Solo.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. I did not think you were going that direction. I thought you were going to put Anakin right there. Wow.
No.
Wow. Okay. So
we're
he's
gonna
going to
have
hit
Ben
for
Solo
that.
step out for the old pops and really knock one out of the park for him.
Damn.
He might just stab him. But we're trying to harness the Ben Solo aspect of what's going on here. We got Luke out here. We got Han out here. We got old Ben out here. We're trying to see if Ben Solo really just kind of stuck to the light, what kind of a stellar athlete would he be? You know?
I like it. I like the play. Ben Solo was some wait. So are you taking Ben Solo and not Kylo, or are we
Yeah, it's
splitting
Ben
those?
Solo.
Okay, we're just splitting those. Okay,
Yeah,
I
because
like
I
that.
think Vader and Anakin are going to be split too.
Yeah, yeah, I would say Vader and Anakin are split.
Hey, if they deserve different names, then they can be different draft picks.
Um,
Did you exit out of the 52 Star Wars characters?
I may have.
All right, well, don't look. I'm trying to look somebody up.
Well, I can pull it up for you.
You typed in fat Star Wars
I
characters.
was looking for a third baseman. There
All right,
you
let's
go.
see
All right.
this.
In the meantime, I am going to go ahead and take my right fielder. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this is the last pick that
I
I
think it
have.
is.
I've got my first base, my second base, my third base. Um, my right fielder is going to be Darth Maul because I think that Darth Maul is fast as fuck, and
He
I think
is
he can get to
fast.
the fucking ball quick. And I think that he can smack the fucking shit out of it too, because I mean, like, he obviously has like, plus he'll when he hits it, he's going to do like the coolest bat flip ever. Like, that's how it's gonna be. He's gonna do the dopest bat flip ever.
That's true.
Who are you taking?
You know, it's really weird. It's really kind of strange what I want to do here.
You know, I'm kind of surprised that you haven't taken a couple of characters so far, and I feel like I can mention them, but like, yeah, I mean, like, there's two characters. You only have one pick left, right?
It's true.
And like, there's two characters that haven't been taken that I'm kind of surprised haven't been taken, and those are Yoda and Qui Gon. And one of those characters I feel like is about to get snubbed since I just mentioned it.
No, I have a whole different idea.
Oh, okay, so both of them are getting snubbed.
And you know, Yoda and Qui-Gon are probably two of my favorite Star Wars characters, but for some reason with this draft, I just kind of felt like I don't know, man. It was like I felt like an OT vibe, but it
That's the
also
way I went too, dude. I was like all OT. I didn't pick like any sequel characters.
yeah, it just feels like that's the kind of age that I'm looking for right now.
Although you took Ben Solo.
But see, that's the other thing. It's kind of like I have I have OT, so we got old Ben, we got Luke Skywalker. I'm imagining like farm boy Luke, you know. He's getting inspired by Ben to fulfill his destiny.
Farm
He's
Boy Luke
meeting
playing
Han Solo
baseball.
for the first time. Han's got Chewie with him.
They're playing baseball.
They got Leia coming out, you
Leia plays
know.
baseball with him.
And then Padme's sticking around just because I fucking love Padme.
And then Padme is playing baseball. She might be old or dead. Yeah, they're there.
Yeah,
She meets her kids for the
she's like
first
a force
time.
ghost, you know.
He meets her kids for the first time, and she's like, "You know what I want to do? I want to play some baseball with you
Yeah, she's like she got to go into the future for like a day, and she's on a fucking baseball team with her kids. It's like this is all Padme's dream right now. So, but also she's seeing little bits of fragments of the distant future. You know, past the sequel trilogy, we got Mando and Ahsoka hanging around in the outfield, kind of showing like what the present moment is going like. And I think left field, it's only appropriate that the fucking child is with Mando in the
You're
outfield.
putting Grogu in the outfield?
Grogu in left
I'm
field.
gonna be totally honest with you. I had Grogu like on my backup team as DH because I was like, Grogu probably doesn't understand his fucking powers. So like, if he's able to like do a force push or something onto the ball, it's either gonna go 5 feet or 1,000 feet. So I was like, that was my like thing. I was like, Grogu's like my mix-up play, you know. But I didn't take him on my team because I took Vader. But you took Grogu for your left field. I like it.
Yeah, this team's all about family for me. So first base have Padme. Second base, her lovely daughter Leia. Third base, we have old Ben watching over the kids, you know. Shortstop is Luke, and we have Han pitching, Chewie catching. In the outfield, we've got Din Djarin, the Mandalorian himself, in center field. off in right field, he's got Ahsoka supporting him, and Grogu's floating in his little carrier, and it might have like a little bit of zoom to it, you know. Throw a couple of extra little thrusters on there. He can force catch. Uh, and then designated hitter hitting for his dad. We got Ben Solo. It's all about family in this backyard Star Wars game, and yeah, I think the team's looking pretty good.
Well, I took I'm gonna be honest with you. The team that I took is not the team that I have written down here. But I took originally I was going for a bounty hunter vibe for my team,
Yeah,
but it ended up being more like a we're repairing droids team.
yeah. It turned into the mechanics.
Yeah, it's basically Jabba's funding our business at the catching position. Galen at pitcher, he's fixing all the droids, and then you guys C3PO, uh, K2, and then L3 around the horn, and then Lando at third to cap it off. So he's gonna be there, helping out with the funding of it. He might have to run a job or two for Jabba, bam bam, that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
then we also got Boba Fett in the outfield at center. He's gonna help out with that. And then to the left and right of him, we got my boy General Grievous and Darth Maul providing the supreme protection. And also, if Grievous needs a fix up, we got money for it. We got
Yep.
money for it. If he needs a fix up, we got the oil. We got all that. And then, DH, we got Darth Vader because the Empire is on my team side. And they, we get more funding from that too. So my team's got like dope black uniforms, like all the like dopest fucking Star Wars bats you can think of. Think about like a glass fucking tube with like lightning bouncing around inside. It's just been infused by Palpatine, so when we hit it, it's just like electric shock bats, just like
Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, like where our team's got all the money for that. So we're Sith enhanced baseball team. But yeah,
We're floating on miracles. We have a baby. Nobody knows where it came from.
dude, where the fuck is yours from?
We've got a bunch
Oh,
of dead
no,
people.
we can't talk about that.
Yeah.
Did you say dead people?
Yeah.
We got a whole bunch of dead people. Is that what you said?
We got Padme, old Ben.
That's not good. Oh yeah, that's right. Padme and Old Ben are dead. I guess Luke's dead now too, right? Who the fuck else is dead on your team? Leia's dead.
Maybe I should put their ages. We got young Luke.
Han Solo's dead.
Damn, stop.
Chewie-
Stop.
You got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Chewie's not dead.
Ben Solo's dead too, dude. You got
Padme's dead.
you got
Leia's
4
dead,
dudes on
Ben's
your
dead,
team that are
Luke's
alive.
dead, Han's dead. God, everybody's dead.
Let me see who's alive on my team real quick. K2 dead. C3PO is alive, right? Yeah, he's good. Lando's alive. I'm good there. L3's dead. Galen's dead. Jabba is dead.
Jabba's dead?
Yeah, he died in episode 6. Pretty sure she chokes him to death.
Who?
Leia on the sand cruiser.
Oh.
You don't remember that?
I didn't know that she choked him to death.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she choked him to death. Because you don't ever see Jabba again.
That's true. I never see him again. I just kind of figured she, like, choked him out, and then, it just kind of got
We gotta
left.
get out of here.
Yeah. I guess
But
he is. Yeah, he's dead.
didn't like I don't know if that thing blew up or not, but did that thing blow up? I can't remember. We're gonna
blow
go
up. He's definitely dead.
Yeah, we gotta watch episode 6.
Yeah, I will say it's been a minute since I've watched episode 6.
Same, but it's definitely up there for top movie though.
It's so good.
Grievous is dead. Maul is
Grievous is
alive?
really dead.
Question mark?
Grievous was on his way out before Obi-Wan killed his ass.
Yeah, Grievous is definitely dead.
He was just like a pair of lungs and a heart and a bunch of pieces of metal.
And then fucking Darth Maul is definitely alive, question mark. Boba Fett's definitely dead. Vader's definitely dead. So them boys dead.
We have a lot of dead people on our teams.
We got our team's full of dead people. Full of
We've
dead
got a
Star
lot of
Wars
funding.
characters. And a lot of funding. Oh shit. We'll get new players. That's why my team's full of droids. We can just fix them. Well, shit, Jim. I think that pretty much wraps up the show. We gotta close this bitch now.
Yeah, we had a pretty lengthy show for you guys. This is our debut. Welcome to the Outer Rim.
Yes.
Uh, we're gonna be doing this radio show on the rock, and we hope the radio waves meet you on wherever your journeys may take you in the depths of space.
Absolutely. Make sure you guys, we're putting this on YouTube, but we're hopefully going to grow it out to other places right now too. Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe if you like this shit. We definitely want to hear your comments, you know? I want to maybe do like a comment of the episode thing at the end of it, you know? We can, read some of your comments if you guys had some stupid shit to say about last week's episode.
Absolutely.
Also, we got a dumb meme of the week for you guys, so let's go ahead and reveal this to Jam because he hasn't seen this yet either. Boom.
I've learned how to stop people from dying. Obviously, not from the Jedi. Not from the Jedi, right? Oh
Oh,
no.
dude, it's a play on those Padme memes. Have you seen those all over the place now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the Padme memes are blowing up. So,
Yeah.
like, I fell in love with this one, and I was like, yeah, this got to go out there.
That's a tragedy.
Oh shit. But next week's episode, you guys, we're gonna be talking about our BF2 tier list because me and Jam love BF2. That's our favorite Star Wars game, as we've said. And we're gonna break it down for you guys in depth and tell you guys who the best characters are to use and all
Yeah.
that shit because well, maybe not even the best characters to use, but our favorite characters because we love those people and they're just
Yeah.
great.
And we're gonna rate them all on a tier list, all the heroes, light side and dark side, like what we sorry, I'm disappearing. My hologram
Your
projector.
hologram's free to go.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to you guys about how good we think the characters are, how much we enjoy using them, and give you a little bit more context on just how we've been playing the game for a long time and what we think of all the characters.
Well, shoot. Jam, strike a pose for the thumbnail.